भगवते वासुदेवाय. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskrityam Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Sahasranam Vyasam Tado Jayamudare Astaprayeshu Abhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya. Bhagavate Uttama Sloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naistiki Mukam Karoti Vacharam Pangum Langeti Girimit Kripatam Vande Shri Gurun Dinatarinam Paramananda Madhava Shri Chaitanyeshwara. Welcome to Srimad Bhagavatam session, Canto 11, Chapter 5, Text number 8. Vadanti te nyonyam upashita striyo griheshu maitunya pareshu chashishaha yajanti asrutan vidhanna dakshinam rutai param guhnoti Pasam atad havidaha. Word by word. Vadanti, speak they, anyonyam, among each other. Upashita striya, who are engaged in worshipping women. Griheshu, in the realm of homes. Maitunya, pareshu, which are dedicated to sex only. Cha and Ashisha, blessings. Yajanti, they worship. Ashruta, without discharging. Anna, vidanna, distribution of food. Dakshinam, gifts in payment to the priests. Pritai, for their own livelihood. Param, only. Gahanti, they murder. Pasun, animals. Ata, vidaha, in ignorance, the consequences of such behavior. Translation purport given by the disciples of Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. The materialistic followers of Vedic rituals, giving up worshipping the Lord, instead practically worship their wives, and thus their homes becomes dedicated to sex life. Such materialistic householders encourage one another in such whimsical behavior. Understanding the ritualistic sacrifice as a necessary item for bodily maintenance, they perform unauthorized ceremonies in which there is no distribution of foodstuffs or charity to the brahmanas and other respectable persons. Instead, they cruelly slaughter animals such as goats without any understanding of the dark consequences of their activities. Purport. False pride is certainly not complete without sex indulgence. Thus, lusty materialistic householders are not attracted to worshipping saintly persons, but rather worship their wives as a source of constant sex pleasure. The mentality of such condemned persons as described by the Lord Himself in Bhagavad Gita 16:13. Idamadya maya labdam imam prapsye manoratam idam astidam apime bhavishyati punardhanam. So much wealth do I have today, and I will gain more according to my schemes. So much is mine now, and it will increase in the future more and more. Generally, materialistic householders consider themselves to be very religious. In fact, by earning money to support a band of relatives, they consider themselves to be more pious than the irresponsible sadhus who do not struggle to maintain family members. Worshipping the material body, they are contemptuous of the humble brahmanas, who are generally not very advanced in economic development. They consider such so-called beggars to be unworthy objects of charity, and instead personally perform sacrifices only for the enhancement of the false prestige of their own family members. Madhvacharya has stated in this regard, Upeksha vai harim te tu bhutva yagyai patanti adaha. In spite of proudly considering themselves to be great performers of religious ceremonies, those who neglect the Lord and His devotees certainly follow. Such foolish persons bless each other by saying, May you be blessed with the wealth of gorgeous flower, garland, sandalwood, purple, beautiful women. Men who controlled by the nature of women become exactly like women. Materialistic women are uninterested in the devotional service of the Supreme Lord. strive for their own selfish happiness. Therefore, they eagerly take service from their husbands and become most discouraged if the husband prefers to serve the personality of Godhead. Being lost in such fool's paradise, both husband and wife mutually encourage each other in temporary happiness. They do not like to speak or hear about the pastimes of God, but prefer to discuss their own families. Still, the devotees of the Lord, being nature in the mode of goodness, are always ready to act mercifully towards such conditioned souls who are just like vain animals. When the devotees of the Lord preach that human being should not slaughter animals, materialistic householders are very often astonished and incur if it is actually possible to subsist on vegetarian diet. Thus, being completely ignorant of the material mode of goodness, what to speak of spiritual knowledge, such contempt materialistic have no hope beyond the best of the Lord, devotees of the Lord. Mangalasana Om Gnanatimirandasya Gnananjana Salakaya Chakshurunmitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruvena Shri Chaitanya Mano Vishram Sthapitamena Mudra Swayam Rupakadamahyam Dadati Swapadantikam. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Sivasati Gaura Bhaktivinoda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama. So in this particular verse, it is clearly explained that the performance and the duties rendered by Grihasta and Grahamedi. See, there is a huge difference between Grihasta and Grahamedi. Grihasta is a person who right from the morning till dawn to dusk, he keeps Krishna in the center and does all the activities which connects only to Krishna, rather than doing the nonsensical activities of sex indulgence, slaughtering of animals, intoxication, all these stupid activities, which is a pathway to go to the kingdom of hellish planet. Whereas a householder gets up early in the morning, in the Brahmi Muhurta, take bath in the cold water, both the husband and wife, and wife, in fact, in the olden days, even now, our devotees also gets up, the Mataji gets up before the husband, keeps everything right on path, sets everything right for the performance of devotional activities for all the members of the house. So she mops everything, the puja room and the Radharani room, everything. She lights the lamp. She starts with prayers, entering to the Radha room, praying to Radharani that I'm going to cook a delicious food for you. Please, if I commit any offenses or any practices which is against your will and wish, please forgive me. So, like this, she prays and she enters to the Radharani, and she keeps on singing some kirtan, glorifying Radha and Krishna. Radha Krishna Gunagava Premita Koshri Chaitanyata, like that. And she keeps all the articles of the deity worship right on the track, so that her husband can come and perform the Vedic rituals. Like this, a Grihasta, the entire activity is centered. Krishna is centered in all their activities. Like he decorates the deities, he puts garland for all the deities, keeps the altar very white and bright. So, and the housewife wakes up all the childrens, and after their external cleanliness, they also come before the altar, and both the parents makes children to stand in front of the deities, and they also sing kirtans and bhajans. The entire family will be will perform the pujas, will perform rituals, will perform Harinam Sankirtan, and they also read scriptures. So father will recite all the Sanskrit slokas, and he keeps explaining to the childrens, especially during the weekends and the other times when they come from the schools or colleges. Then again, in the evening times, they does all these uh, um, amazing and incredible activities in the house, so that, and whatever they earn and the results of those earnings will be given as a yat karosi yat juhosi. In that sloka in 9th chapter it says Krishna, everything will be given as offering to Krishna. Whatever the food they prepare, they offer to the Lord, and they see to that no sense gratification activities will be happening in the house. Whereas the Grahamedi, he not only goes against the scriptures or does vikarma, but also stops other devotees and Vaishnavas from doing all these spiritual activities. So here, in this particular sloka, and if somebody comes and advises these Grahamedis or the persons who are fully absorbed in materialistic plane, their only question is how to survive in this fast world, in this dynamic world, without taking non-vegetarian. How to survive with the vegetables? It's because in non-veg we have a lot of health properties. All those nonsensical arguments they create. They create a bad scene. So they care a damn for slaughtering animals, just to satisfy the tongue, or just because they want to make their tongue palatable. They kill so many poor animals, or also the part and parcel of the Lord, and also they are like brothers and sisters for us. So they don't have that quality of daya, mercy, and also the materialistic persons, how much ever they earn, their desire will be longing. The desire will be day by day. It goes on. It multiplies like anything. I am now very rich, but I want still more. I want to become more and more and more. Nobody should be there. I should be a very big shot in this society. People should recognize me. People should bow down before me when I walks on the road, when I passes through these streets, different streets. I care a damn for any person or any particular activity. If at all I want to earn more, or if at all I want to crave for something, I must get it at the cost of murdering any person. That's what mentioned in Bhagavad Gita 16:13. Prabhupada writes in the purports. It's exactly happening now in this present modern world. So Shastras recommends us, Shastras warns us and alarms us that take up the Shastras, follow the Shastras, approach bona fide spiritual masters who can really open your eyes with the real Dharma, with real Paro Dharma, and what is to be done, what we are supposed to perform in this particular Yuga, Kali Yuga. So all these things to be taken into consideration. So these materialistic people does all sorts of irreligious activities and illegal activities just to satisfy their senses. But Instead of that, one should take the higher taste, as said by Krishna in Srimad Bhagavad Gita, that he says that uh, always go for a higher taste. The higher taste is Krishna consciousness, Bhakti Yoga. Not even Gnana and Karma Yoga or Ashtanga Yoga, but take the Bhakti Yoga, which is the topmost of all the yogas. So, it's not only good to be a vegetarian, but you should be Krishnatarian, taking only sattvic food. Only to be sattvic towards others, harmless to others. Give them Krishna consciousness, give them Krishna Bhakti. Whomever you meet, Yara Deko, wherever you go, whomever you meet, just Krishna Upadesh. Gruheta ko, vaneta ko, Krishna karo. So everywhere spread Krishna consciousness according to time, place, circumstances. Hare Krishna.